For the past century and a half, we've fueled a globe-spanning civilization using a one-time inheritance of ancient buried sunlight. Fossil fuels gave us the dense energy required to pave continents and expect strawberries in January. We can think of this high-complexity society as the industrial Titanic, a vessel built on the assumption of endless power and the belief that we can dominate the natural world. But we are now entering waters the ship was never designed for. The industrial Titanic is steaming directly toward the thermodynamic limits of a finite planet. The very things that made the ship a marvel, its sheer size and its intricate globalized connections, are now its greatest liabilities. It cannot turn quickly enough to avoid the icebergs of resource depletion and climate volatility. We are entering the Great Simplification. It is not the end of the world, but it is the end of this high-energy world. This chart illustrates our thermodynamic reality. The sphere is our planet's fixed boundary. Internal vectors of consumption expand rapidly outward. We cannot consume infinite resources on a finite sphere. Breaching the boundary causes ecological overshoot, buckling the system. Because the SS Global is so massive and rigid, it has no physical mechanism to downshift its consumption or steer away from these environmental limits. Right now, many of our institutions are responding by trying to build better pumps or patch the hull with more technology. They are attempting to maintain our current speed through innovation, rather than addressing the water entering the ship. Trying to engineer a faster ship doesn't solve a sinking problem. It only delays the inevitable while consuming the remaining energy we have left. Our task is no longer to save the Titanic. Our task is to build the lifeboats. These lifeboats cannot be miniature versions of the cruise ship. They can't rely on the same high energy demands and fragile supply chains that are currently failing us. We need to build schooners. A schooner is a different kind of vessel entirely. It doesn't try to overpower the ocean with a massive engine. It works in partnership with the wind and the currents. A schooner scale system is built for decentralization. It relies on a local crew, understanding the local weather and working together in real time, focusing on what can be sustained within their own bioregion. This means moving away from the hubris of domination and toward human-scale systems designed for adaptability. Stepping off the deck of the industrial world is disorienting. If you feel a sense of grief or anxiety about the state of the world, you are simply paying attention. It's a shock to realize the trajectory of endless growth we were promised is over. It's normal to mourn the future we thought we'd inherit. But once we accept this civilizational descent, the anxiety can give way to a quiet clarity. The work ahead of us is no longer abstract, it is practical. When we stop trying to fix a ship that cannot be saved, we can finally focus on the immediate, tangible steps of local survival. To anchor these lifeboats, we have to start with the ground beneath our feet. For generations, industrial agriculture has treated dirt as an inert sponge for chemical fertilizers, washing our topsoil into the sea. This diagram compares our current agricultural methods with a soil sponge. On the left, degraded soil allows water to run off the surface, leading to floods and erosion. On the right, we see the regenerating biology of the earth actively absorbing rainfall. By rebuilding this living biology, the ground can hold water during droughts and feed a community from the ground up, regardless of what happens to global shipping. We saw this in the ice storm. Neighbors who had never met began sharing wood stoves and pantries. When the anonymous systems fail, the human-scale network is what holds us together. The hum of the old world is fading. It is time to stop being passengers and learn how to sail. We have built our world on a high-stakes assumption that our industrial momentum is as unsinkable as the steel hulls we once set into the Atlantic. But the elephant in the room has grown too large to ignore, moving out of our private shadows and into the center of our lives. This is the Metacrisis, the tipping point where the stories of endless growth collide with the physical limits of our planet. The Lifeboat mini-course is your immediate, structured transition, a free 5-day journey delivered to your inbox to transform global anxiety into local resilience. Day 1 begins with an audit of the invisible, the energy and water systems you rely on every hour, yet rarely ever see. Day 2 forces a change in your geographical lens, challenging you to locate your true home within your watershed and local bioregion. You won't navigate this terrain alone. You will receive daily study guides and synthesized patterns designed to cut through the noise and reveal the architecture of change. Day 3 asks you to practice active hope in a world facing ecological overshoot. Day 4 introduces the demanding standard of revolutionary love. By tracing the water back to your neighbor's tap, you move beyond the narrow walls of self-help and into the expansive, interconnected practice of systems health. The climax arrives on Day 5 with the introduction of a specific framework for your future, the 9x21 harvest. Who is your mutual guiding spirit in this transition, and which 9 things will you choose to do? Stop waiting for the headlines to crush you. Sign up for the Lifeboat mini course now. Access your Day 1 materials immediately and join the community hub where the next story of our world is already being written.
You can remain tied to the illusion of a collapsing global credit card, or take this course to begin building real systems health today. The Earth is tired of the lie. It is time to dance with the truth.